Hello students, today we are going to study Newton's first and second law of motion. Let us study Newton's first law of motion. Let us consider inertia. Inertia is inability to move or change. It is a fundamental concept in mechanics used to describe the motion of objects and how they are affected by the applied force. Inertia is also the property of a body to oppose or resist the change in its state. It depends on the mass of the body or object. More the mass of an object has more inertia. For example, if a tablecloth under a dish is suddenly withdrawn, it does not disturb the dish because a dish tends to remain at rest due to inertia. Before we state Newton's first law of motion, let us consider simple experiment. A block is kept on a top of table as shown in figure. It remains at rest. When you push a block along a horizontal tabletop by applying force and the force is enough to overcome the force of friction between the block and table. You can keep the block in motion with constant velocity by applying a force just equal to force of friction and acts in opposite direction. If magnitude of applied force exceeds the magnitude of force of friction, the block accelerates. After stop the pushing, the block does not continue to move and block stops after moving a short distance as force of friction retards its motion. Now, if block is pushing on a smooth, highly waxed horizontal surface, after a quick pushing, the block comes to rest, not quickly as before, means the surface exert less friction than the tabletop, so block travel further. And lastly, if surface is highly polished, which removes friction completely, once the block set into motion, it never slow down and there is no need of force to keep it in motion. So, Newton's first law is also a law of inertia. It states that every inanimate body continues in its state of rest or uniform motion in a straight line unless it is acted upon by some external force to change that state. Simply, when no force acts on a body, the acceleration of the body is zero. The tendency of a body to resist any change in its state of rest or uniform motion is called inertia of a body. Therefore, Newton's first law is also called a law of inertia. We consider simple experiment of inertia in second slide. It is important to note that net force acting on a body matters in Newton's first law of motion. If summation of F is 0, then acceleration is 0. means body remains unaccelerated. That is either at rest or moving with constant velocity along straight line. So figure shows an object. F1 is the force which acts on an object. Similarly, F3 is the force which is acting in outward direction. Similarly, F4 which is also outward direction, and F2 which is also in outward direction. Means F1, F2, F3, F4 be the forces acting on object in outward direction. So the vector sum of all forces given in figure is F is equal to vector F1 plus vector F2 plus vector F3 plus vector F4. If vector F is equal to 0, then acceleration A is equal to 0. Then what is force? Force is nothing but an interaction between two bodies or a body and its environment. It may be push or pull. Force is a vector quantity. It requires magnitude and direction. Its SI unit is Newton and CGS unit is dyne. There will be a relation between Newton and dyne. That is 1 Newton is equal to 10 raised to 5 dyne. The dimensions of force are M1, L1, T raised to minus 2 by using the relation F is equal to mass into acceleration. Let us consider an experiment of weighing of an object as shown in figure. An object is suspended from a spring scale like this. Fs is the force exerted by scale which is in upward direction, and Fg is gravitational force exerted on object by earth which is directed downward. As object is at rest, means acceleration A is 0. By Newton's first law, the net force acting on the object is 0. That means vector Fg minus vector Fs is equal to 0. Applications of Newton's first law of motion. First application is, if you kick a ball in space, it would keep going because there is no gravity, friction or air resistance against it. It will stop going in one direction if it hits something like a meteoroid, means small object from space such as a small rock or a piece of metal that hits the earth's surface. Second one is, if a car runs with very high speed and hits something like brick wall or tree, it stops instantly, but driver moves forward. And last application is, if hockey puck is slide on ice, it will stop because of friction on the ice, and it will also stop if it hits something like a player's stick or a goal post. Second law of motion. We know that Newton's laws of motion are physical laws. They describe the relationship between a body and the forces act on it, and its motion in response to those forces. We also know that Newton's first law gives what happens to a body when no force acts on it, while second law gives answer when the net force is not 0. Second law gives relationship between the change in motion and force applied. Let us consider a block of ice on a frictionless horizontal surface as shown in figure. In figure A, the mass of the block is m. if we exert some force F, which is horizontal force, then the block moves with some acceleration A. If we double the force, the acceleration doubles. If we increase the applied force to 3 times F, the acceleration becomes 3A, and so on. From such observations, we conclude that the acceleration of a body is proportional to the magnitude of force and is directed along the direction of applied force. Again, consider a block of ice which is pushed as shown in figure. Due to the force, block has some acceleration A. If the mass of block is double, then the same applied force F produces an acceleration A by 2. When triple the mass, then same applied force F produces an acceleration A by 3. Means in first situation, mass keeping constant, force will be increased, then acceleration also increased in proportional to force, and in second situation, mass is increased, keeping force same or constant, then acceleration will be A by 2 and A by 3. From these observations, we conclude that the magnitude of the acceleration of a body is inversely proportional to its mass. Newton's law combines these two observations, means A is directly proportional to F and A is inversely proportional to M. We get A is proportional to F upon M, or F is equal to M into A. This is a mathematical form of Newton's second law of motion. That is, force F is equal to the product of mass and acceleration produced. Hence, Newton's second law gives a relation between force, mass and acceleration. The law states that the acceleration of an object is directly proportional to the net force acting on it and inversely proportional to its mass. The SI unit of force is 1 Newton. By this relation, F is equal to ma. 1 Newton is equivalent to 1 kg into meter per second square. Similarly, CGS unit is 1 dyne, which is equivalent to 1 gram into centimeter per second square. Then applications of Newton's second law. This law states that acceleration is produced when unbalanced force acts on object. This shows that more is the mass of object, more force is needed to move it. First application is, if same force is used to push a truck and push a car, then car will have more acceleration than truck because car has less mass. Child cannot be able to throw a ball the same distance as professional because child would be unable to exert the same amount of force than the ball player would. Newton's second law is used in designing the racer bikes or to increase their speed by reducing mass. It is easier to push an empty shopping cart than a full one because full shopping cart has more mass than empty one. Thank you.